Was our first year RV living full-time and traveling in 2020 what we expected it to be? Was it like the videos Larry showed me on YouTube when we were researching and deciding whether we should go full-time?
No, it wasn't, but nobody could have guessed 2020 was going to turn out like it did.
That is true. So you cannot judge this lifestyle based on 2020. We do expect it to evolve, but more importantly, we're going to look for more epic adventures.
Would we do it again? Stay tuned.
Welcome back to some more talk about RV living full-time and traveling in your RV. But if you just found us, I'm Alice.
And I'm Larry.
And we are Downsizing Makes Sense, like the penny. Larry does amazing campground reviews, site-by-site tours. He does these DIYs that are very meticulous, and he gets very serious about them. And we do product reviews.
Are we going to be product pimpers?
That's coming.
That's coming.
That's coming.
It's coming sooner or later. So in this video, we're going to go over our first year full-timing, what it was like, what we learned, and what surprised us.
Yes. Our channel is called Downsizing Makes Sense, and there's a reason for it. We did go from a very large house, for us anyway, to a small RV. However, there are a couple things. One, we could have gone smaller. We could have taken less stuff. We need to downsize. I really would like to get to a smaller RV and have less stuff in our RV. Now, the thing is, we have room in our RV.
We got tons of room.
Tons of storage, but we have a weight issue. But that is because of our solar and lithium. And yes, Larry is going to do some sort of solar overview at some point. But we are working on downsizing even more.
Now, I just spent 3 days in our storage units, and we have really gotten to get it down from 2 storage units down to 1. And now it actually looks like it's really going to happen. Yes. So the other thing is that I'm feeling healthier.
Yes.
And so I'm doing more of my sports, like kite surfing and mountain biking and all that kind of stuff. The problem with that, now all that gear has got to come onto the RV. And all that stuff's heavy, so that something's going to have to go. And I have a feeling it's going to have to be some of her clothes.
No, what happened is since he quit his job, we actually did get rid of a lot of his work-related stuff.
That's right, yeah, we did get rid of the work stuff.
We got rid of the work stuff.
That stuff's gone. Suits, gone.
Okay, but the toys weigh way more than a couple suits.
Yeah, but this is lifestyle's all about having fun with the toys.
Yes.
We have talked about this a lot in our videos. We love state parks, national parks, even some of those county and city parks are awesome. What we really don't love are private parks, Thousand Trails, and Encore. We're going to try and stay away from those.
Yes. I mean, if you saw our fiasco at Breezy Hill, that Thousand Trails Encore, you can understand. And frankly, Thousand Trails and Encores are really hard to get into. But this is why we love state parks. We're at one right now.
Yeah, and you just have to be persistent. Have the state parks that you want to go to. You know, be flexible which ones you can go to. And you got to be really, really persistent to get the ones that you want.
Yes.
It worked out great for us because state parks, it's usually a 14-day max, and that's really our sweet spot is 10 to 14 days.
Yes, if you can get those 10 to 14-day reservations. One of the things you may not think about is solar and lithium batteries. It's not just for boondocking. We have dry camped in Canada with our solar and lithium, and we dry camped in the Everglades. If you saw our Long Pine Key campground video, it opens up so many opportunities, places you may not have a chance to go to because you're looking for that power or water. But, you know, we haven't boondocked yet. We haven't pooped in a bucket. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but don't think solar and lithium means just boondocking in the desert and that's it. It's used for so much more.
Now, we have really gotten pretty good at conserving water. I know that even when we go to state parks and there's no sewer hookup or sometimes no water hookup, that we've gotten better at, you know, either using I use the bathhouse quite a bit, which conserves water. And then I've got it down to where I could take a shower in like two gallons.
Yeah. We were at Blue Springs in one spot for 10 days and we didn't have to use the Blue Boy.
Yeah.
And it is, hey, I help too because I take Navy showers and I have skipped a shower or two in those 10 days. Not that,
She can skip showers. I can't skip a shower. I get stinky, so no good. Things are going to break and things are going to go wrong. Once we accepted that and that's going to happen, when it did happen, it didn't freak us out. We didn't get too stressed out. Now, the other thing is you have to have a plan for when stuff like that happens, and you have to have some money set aside so that you don't be like, oh, where's the money going to come to fix this?
Yeah. And make sure that you do all your maintenance on your truck and your RV and follow your checklist, whatever your checklist is, and that'll help reduce some of these things going wrong. But when it comes down to it, you guys know Larry, he can fix almost anything, so I'm getting a little less stressed out about it.
So far, I've been able to fix most of the stuff, but we'll see. There's always something that's going to break next week. Now, a lot of people that are interested in full-timing, they ask us, what was it like after you guys lived in a house together for all those years? Moving to an RV full-time, how does that affect your relationship? Well, it has definitely been a journey.
Yeah.
When we first started, I was still working, so I was gone many hours of the day, and Alice had all that time by herself. The real test was when we took off to Canada for 3 months, and then all of a sudden, we're together 24/7 in the RV all the time. That was the test.
Yes, but we do great things together, things I love. I love to canoe, I love to hike, and I love to light bike, not the mountain biking stuff that he does. For me to do that with him, I need an e-bike.
And I really encourage Alice to get out there and do stuff on her own. I have a lot of activities that I do on my own. Yeah. I want Alice to get out there and enjoy those too, because I want a little RV time alone by myself also.
Yeah, he does the kiting and the biking and the mountain biking and the rollerblading and on and on and on. Like at Payne's Prairie, I did a hike by myself, but what I hated was I had this wild horse encounter, and all I could think of is, I want to share this with Larry, and he wasn't there for it. So, I think maybe we need to do a whole video on just how we don't kill each other.
Yeah, are we gonna make it a couple more years without killing each other? That's the video right there.
Yeah, it's been over 36 years together. So yes, we need some alone time.
No, I want to be with you 24/7, honey.
You guys have heard us talk about destination versus journey. So Larry's destination, which means he wants to go from point A to point B and no messing around. And I'm journey, which basically means I want to take my time. I want to stop and get that picture by the Sasquatch. And
every roadside attraction, I gotta stop.
So I enjoy doing those things. But what we realized recently is, for me, this also goes to when we get to that destination. And what I mean by that is, we love state parks. So when we get to that state park, he's still very pragmatic. He's already doing kind of the point A, point B thing. He wants to work on stuff, but I want to go see the waterfall, the manatees. I want to do the fun stuff, because I'm thinking that's the whole point of this.
Yeah, we park the RV, we get all settled, we get all our stuff. I'm thinking about all the things I need to fix, things I want to improve. I want to break out the 3D printer. And then, we've got to do the YouTube stuff before we start adventuring. And that's the thing that we're talking about.
But, that's the whole thing about 36 plus years, yin and yang. We are opposites, and we kind of smooth each other out.
Yeah, absolutely. It all works out.
Yeah.
We just did our 1 year cost video, and this lifestyle ended up being more expensive than we thought it would be. But there's a couple of things we're doing to get the cost down. We're reducing some of our life insurance. We're getting our storage down from 2 down to 1. That's going to save a lot of money. And then we're getting rid of the follow behind car, and we're going to sell it. That reduces a lot of expense.
But because we're getting rid of the follow behind car, we have an extra expense because of the canoe.
Yeah, so we usually tow the canoe around on the top of the follow behind car. So I'm gonna have to build an entire rack system for the truck. That's gonna cost about $1,000.
But we are saving a lot of money not having the follow behind car because of maintenance on the car, gas on the car, and things like that. And I just would rather do errands in the smaller car because I'm not used to driving the truck. But I have to admit, sometimes I feel like a real bad because I'm driving this big butt dually.
I'm not sure why Alice has such a problem driving the dually. She is an awesome driver, and I mean that. It is a really wide rear end, and it can be intimidating to drive, so I understand that. Now, the truck is a little bit more expensive to run and maintain because it's a diesel and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it comes right down to it. I never owned a truck before in my life. I love the truck. I can never see myself going back to driving a car again.
There's a lot to traveling with pets. And we've talked about this before in our 6-month video about how there's a lot of equipment you bring with you. You have to limit your activities. You have to change a lot of your lifestyle if you have pets with you as full-time RVers. But one of the things we never thought about before that happened recently, right before Christmas, is we had one of our dogs, Chewy. She had congestive heart failure and she died. And even though we knew she was sick, we just never thought about the day she died. And this was, I think it was totally different this time. We've lost dogs before, but when you're living, and you have to think about this, when you're living full-time, 24/7 with your pet, that's a huge part of your life. And so when she was gone, this was the worst, you know, experience we've had as full-timers.
It crushed us, and it shocked me how affected we were. So in addition to feeling really down, normally we had dogs, we had acres, we would bury them in the backyard. But here we were at a campground, and we have our pet that we have to take care of here. So I had to find a place to have the dog cremated. Luckily for us, there was one nearby, and they were very cool. They were very compassionate, and it was, you know, it wasn't that expensive. So we got lucky there because we hadn't really done any planning for that, and we should have.
Yes, so just keep that in mind if you're traveling with pets. And what surprised me the most is I'm a dog gal. I love dogs. I love having tons of dogs. And to tell you the truth, now that we've just had Scrappy for a couple months alone, it is a lot easier just to have one dog.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be one dog for us.
Yep.
When we were researching going full-time, we spent a lot of time on YouTube and watched a million videos about what to expect in the full-time RV lifestyle. So when we did go full-time, we thought it was just kind of a natural progression for us to share our lifestyle as well, start making some videos and have some fun with it. But when I quit my job, then I started to think like maybe YouTube is a replacement for me for right now to use YouTube as my job.
Yes, and since Larry used to work with spine surgeons, this took a lot of meticulous planning and details, and so he kind of takes YouTube very seriously. If you saw his internet video, he's a very serious guy when he makes videos all by himself. Now, I was a teacher, so I'm used to, I have to entertain the kids, you know, teenagers, and entertain myself, so I wasn't bored doing the teaching. So I goof around a little more than him.
Yeah, so one thing I will say, the comments that people leave is what really motivates us to keep making these videos. They are just so awesome, the encouragement that we get. And yes, I promise to loosen up a little bit when I do those videos.
Some of the things that really surprised us that we should have thought about, but we didn't, is one, storms. Now, I've lived in Florida since I was 2, and Larry's been here since he was 15. So we've lived in sticks and bricks, and we literally had a brick house during a lot of really serious hurricanes. And yeah, they were a little scary, but we were prepared, and it didn't really worry us that much. But then as full-time RVers, we had to outrun a tropical storm. We had a tornado warning in Canada. We've had 2 tornado warnings since we've been in Florida, and we really don't have a plan. Like, we don't have a go bag, and we really need to have a go bag.
I think that we're actually in a better shape for storms, especially hurricanes, because we can just pick up and go. I got my little generator, we're rocking. If this RV is a rocking, it must be a tornado.
That's true.
One of the things that really surprised me is I love backing that RV into like the impossible spot. When we were in Canada, we got some spots that were a real challenge, but I really enjoyed that, you know, getting into the spots. What did get me was pulling out of spots. I got nailed twice with tail swing because I wasn't paying attention on sharp turns, the tail swinging out, and it just clipped it a couple of times.
I told him the tree was too close. So I'm hoping that we're going to get this new Halo View?
Halo View, yeah.
Halo View that will have side cameras. So maybe I can just walk the dog while he's parking.
You can just chill out in the car.
I'm kidding. I know I have to be there for an extra pair of eyes and yell, stop! Because we all know that cliche about what we said while we were backing in the trailer. It really is true.
Yeah, I have to be so nice during those back in time.
Just don't yell at me.
One of the things I realized that's really important to me is comfort.
Yes.
2 places. One is the couch.
Yes.
I want a comfortable couch so at night I'm watching a movie, I could chill out and be super comfortable.
And it's straight across from the TV.
It has to be. I don't want any of this neck turning stuff watching a catty corner TV.
No.
And then, sometimes you're stuck in the RV for maybe a day or two at a time
Yeah.
because of bad weather
Yeah.
and you want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So the other thing was being able to sleep comfortably. That means having a really comfortable mattress and be able to black out that room so it's dark and quiet. Super important.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about RV mattresses. So we brought our Tempur-Pedic from our house, which is super heavy.
Yeah.
But what we did to compensate is we take everything off the bed and everything out of that bedroom slide before we move it in and out. So that helps with it. But I'm really glad that we have the queen mattress because, honey, I love you, but he's got Jimmy feet.
Do not have Jimmy feet.
He's got Jimmy feet.
I got Larry feet.
He's got Jimmy feet. One of the things that you really need to think about is being away from family and friends. Now, we knew we were going to be away from the kids when we went this full-time life, but for the first time ever, even though we had a son that lived in California for a while, we have our younger son went away to college and we became empty nesters, and that's when we decided to do this lifestyle. For the first time ever, we were away from them for 3 months when we were in Canada, and it was weird. It felt really weird. And the other thing is holidays. We were the ones that hosted the holidays, like every holiday. Larry,
I love that, doing that turkey. Every Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's my turkey time.
and he makes the best gravy ever. So, I used to decorate, I had like 15 bins for Christmas. I was one of those. I had to decorate every room. I don't miss that at all. Believe me, I don't. But it felt weird to do it somewhere else. We had a Thanksgiving dinner at the kids' apartment, and it went well. It was fine.
Yeah.
And then for Christmas, we did a steak instead of a turkey.
Kind of switch things up a little bit, and it was awesome. It was great.
It was fine.
Our kids are 22 and 26.
Yeah.
They're getting to the age that they're living their own lives now. We kind of let them kind of move on, and, we're doing our thing now.
Yeah, but we always want to make sure we're around the holidays if they let us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one part. We're always going to try to be back to the holidays to spend time with our kids until maybe they have their own families.
So that's something you need to think about.
When we embark on this full-time RV lifestyle, knowing what we know now about 2020, absolutely I'd do it again. What about you, honey?
100%. If we were still in our sticks and bricks, we would still have a lot of the same stressors, that we have now. Plus, if you think about it, we don't know if our house would sell right now. And more importantly, we've seen the news. It's hard to get an RV. And when we looked, a year ago more to get our Grand Design, our used Grand Design, it was really hard then. So I can't even imagine trying to get an RV now. Plus, we have gone to Canada, we've seen Niagara Falls, I've gone to the Great Smoky Mountains, climbed a mountain, and things like that. So yes, 100% I'd do it again.
Plus, I didn't want to work another year. Forget about that. So if you're thinking about this RV lifestyle, living full-time in your RV, what are your concerns? Please leave those questions in the comments.
And of course, you can message or comment on our Instagram and Facebook.
Now, if you like this kind of content, we do campground tours, RV DIY projects, product reviews, stuff like that. If you're into it, please subscribe to our channel by clicking this link below. Now, I'm also going to leave a link over here for you to check out some of our other full-time RV lifestyle experiences. And remember,
Downsizing still makes sense.